Welcome to Times India TV web channel. Today, it is a special day. India is celebrating its Independence Day. It's a 75th Independence Day, so it is so special. On this special day, we have a special guest, Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi from Switzerland. She is an eminent TEDx speaker, inspirational educationist, emotional intelligence expert, and international speaker. Having Her Excellence in our studio to speak about our 75th Independence Day, really, it's so special. The day is special, the program is special, and our guest is very, very special. So we'll see how this program is going to be. Before we're going to start this program, let us hear from Our Excellency a small self-introduction so that we get inspired through her journey. Over to you, Excellency.
Namaskar, Dr. Raja Rao. Thank you so much for the welcome. I'm really honored to be in the show, and I'm really looking forward to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Yes, in this journey, 25 years journey, so many milestones, so many achievements. It's an incredible journey of India since 1947. It's a 2022. So what, according to Dr. Ruby Bakshi, what are the milestones that are set by India?
That's a very, very important question. And of course, we are all very happy celebrating 75 years of independence of Mother India. Of course, we are excited. We are elated to be all there in this era. I think as NRI settled in Switzerland, there are certain things which I have always been inspired and always been looking forward to from global perspective. To start off, I would say that the very first thing that India achieved was the independence back then, which was due to our global leaders and eminent personalities. And the first thing that made India shine in the economy was 1991, when it had the globalization of economy. So I think that was the first major milestone that India achieved back then. And thereafter, some of the milestones which I feel really need mention are in 2010, when India had the fundamental right for education. They said that every child should have the basic education. I think that was a very, very incredible step that India stepped towards. And then in 2011, we just witnessed the movie where India won the World Cup. It was very recently in the movies as well. So the whole world was ecstatic that India was there. They had been trying to do it. It was not possible, but the India team spirit got the World Cup back home. And I think the game changer, which really put India on a global platform, was 2014, when Shri Narendra Modi ji became the Prime Minister of India. I think this man, as a global leader, as a global transformational person, changed the whole world the way India was looked upon in the past. So I guess it was one of the major things that brought about a big change in the perspective of Indians in the global arena. And with the commencement of his leadership in 2015, he made necessary that there should be a launch of something which will change India in terms of all over how it is being conceived or perceived as in the field of technology. Because we live in the digital era where we need to move with technology. So I think the other milestone which he did was the campaign in which he wanted a digitally empowered India, which now is known as all over the world, the software capital of the world. And last but not the least, which is very, very recent, which I just admire and the whole world is rejoicing over, is 2022, in which we had the very first tribal president, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji. I think as a leader, as a formal teacher, she is really going to make a big change, just as Shri Narendra Modi ji. So these are some of the milestones which I feel are a must to be shared with the whole of world.
So great, so inspiring. Really, the events you put forward, really they deserve more. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. At the same time, we have to see the criticism part, the gray shades, or the areas which we are supposed to improve. Because India is still developing country. We never ever say that India is a developing nation, but it is the dream of every Indian to say proudly that we are in developing nation. So what are the areas that are lagging behind our nation? What, according to Dr. Ruby, the areas which we are lagging behind, and how can we strengthen them?
That's again a very, very important question. Of course, grass is not always greener on the other side. It just looks green. And of course, when there are everything which is rosy and beautiful, there's always a shade of gray and, black areas which we need to work upon. And I think India, even though it was known as a golden bird in the past, has some shades which needs to be worked upon. There are some areas of improvement. And I think as the very first one which we notice is the lack of infrastructure. The basic infrastructure, when it could be in terms of roads, drinking water, we still have to have the filter water, we have to have those small filters in each house. I think if India has pure drinking water directly from the tap, that would be heaven, that would be really beautiful. And of course, the lack of facilities or good facilities in hospitals and schools. I would say, even though we have the best doctors, we have best education system, but still it is missing in some of the places, especially in the rural areas. So India definitely needs to work a little bit more on the rural areas where people have brilliance, people have, I would say, energy and brains, but they don't have the money, or they don't have the right infrastructure or right financial support, which is must, which I think is most required. So if India has the right kind of people, right kind of support, I'm sure this infrastructure that needs a little bit of attention can definitely be worked upon. And another thing, which is from political side, I would say, it's just as a person staying away from India, I feel, because India is a huge country, it's a big country. People up in north are so different from people down in south, same as east and west. So every state has its own regional political party. And I think that's the major cause which causes sometimes problems in unity, because people are fighting amongst themselves. When India should be united, it's a big country, we should take advantage of it. But the disadvantage is people are fighting amongst themselves. Everyone wants power. Everyone wants to be up there, number one. And what happens is, when everyone is fighting because of language, because of culture, because of we are there, we are best, then it becomes a little bit too much to handle. So I guess if people are a little bit like-minded, we will be able to work on it. We'll definitely be able to work on it, because people are smart, people are intelligent. They just need a little bit of a right direction and a sense of unity to work on it better.
Really, it's a practical. Whatever the answer you have given, it's a practical. It doesn't need any research, because
Exactly.
just by seeing the structure, we can say that. But you have spoken on the facts, because of course we have unity in diversity, but we need unity.
Exactly.
So that's what that single thing can make. I hope that the day will come when our whole nation will be unified under one umbrella. The day will come. Then we proudly say on that day that India is a developed country. We are expecting that day. As per Dr. Ruby, when India can reach that milestone, how many years, how many decades it would take to say that India is a developed nation? Any guess?
I think we can't take a guess, or we can't make it like, I think by year so and so it will be up there. It can happen anytime when people change and people have a change towards a mindset, that we have to do. So if everyone is kind of passionate, or everyone is kind of working on it together, they can definitely bring about a change. I guess it's all a matter of time. It's all a matter of circumstances. It's all a matter of right kind of leadership, which is there, but it needs to be consistent. And if people, the leaders, are consistent, the education policy is a little bit more structured towards bringing about the right change in occupation as well as fulfillment of what children are doing. The children of today are leaders of tomorrow. So if we work on that, I'm sure it will bring about a huge change. And I would just say, as a person sitting far away from India, I can just see that everywhere people are talking about how well India is doing, how well India has positioned itself, whether in sports, whether in technology, whether in education, in all the areas which were kind of, I would say, loopholes in the past. They have come up, they have reached up in the ladder. So if it is consistent, again, with the direction of right leadership, which I mentioned already, with Narendra Modi ji, his campaigns, his different policies that he is putting into picture, I think we will definitely move towards a better India and a stronger India.
Yes, this too a practical answer. Of course, there is a day we reach soon because we have a great leaders under their visionary leadership. One day we'll reach, and one day we proudly say that our country is a developed country. Thank you so much, Excellency, for such a practical and down to earth answers. Really, because instead of going into imaginations, wild imaginations, we are so much practical in answering that you proved it. Thank you so much. And of course, what is the contribution of Dr. Rubiji? Because you are in Switzerland, of course, you are doing wonderful job because we have seen it. Your services, you are doing a commendable job to serve your nation, even though you are far away from your motherland. So, what is the contribution of Dr. Ruby towards India?
I think as India ki beti, which I proudly say myself here, settled far away, it's my responsibility to consistently work and change the image which it has or it had in the past. And if people like me who are settled abroad, far away from their Janmabhoomi, as I proudly say, India is my Janmabhoomi and Switzerland is my Karmabhoomi. So if each and every person who's staying far away, he or she is in the process of consistently putting India up, and of course, not forgetting that they have to have the country where they're living also, positioned back to back in like I would say neck to neck with India, things would definitely change. Settled here far away, what I have been consistently doing is teaching mantras, shlokas, moral education to not only my children. It started teaching my children, but then when people saw, when I started sharing things on social media, again, thanks to social media, things have changed so much. Whatever we were doing in the house as a practice, so that children have an idea about their culture, children have an idea about their traditions. It went beyond that. What was happening in the closed four walls of our room, it went far, far beyond that, because others started noticing, and then they said, can we also join? Can we join Shivaratri? Can we join Diwali? So all the big festivals that are celebrated in India, I make it a point that together with my friends, with my networks, we celebrate those events here. And when we celebrate, we talk about it, we discuss about it, we tell to our children, because the future generation needs to know. If we don't tell, if we will not say, how will we be able to tell them or transmit the same information to our children? So as a mother, as a teacher, and I think as a mentor, I make sure that I bring this simple, I make it loud and clear that people know it. And also I have established Indo-Swiss Cultural Network. As a founder of Indo-Swiss Cultural Network, I make it a point that we bridge the gap between Indians and Swiss. So whatever is happening great in India, I try to highlight that through my network. And whatever is happening great in Switzerland, I try to highlight that in my network as well, so that we are able to bridge the gap and we understand very well both the countries and work together.
Thank you so much, because it inspires many. They will follow your suggestions and your ideas, and overall, our nation should get benefited through all these.
Definitely.
Thank you, Excellency. And last question: what is your message to our youth from this,
the message,
from this special day? Because
Exactly. On this Independence Day, 75 years of India's independence, my message to the youth of India is be transparent and be honest. Because the more and more you are honest and transparent, you will be able to achieve whatever you want to. And of course, you should be very well self-sufficient and try to have as much information, as much knowledge you are able to have. Education is a must. You should take it seriously. And when I say education, is not just your degrees or diplomas, it's education of life. So you should take that seriously. For the boys, it should be respect women, and for women, it should be respect men, because we are men and women walking together. So empower each other. Again, I would say 3 E's, which is educate, empower, and empathize. So if you educate your children, if you educate yourself as a youth of tomorrow, you will evolve as a better person. And if you are consistently in a process of empowering each other, if someone is doing good, give him a compliment. If someone is doing nice, empower him. Bravo, you did a good job. Just as Dr. Raja Rao is doing for all the people around us, consistently he's coming up with these great initiatives, great programs, empowering every person around him. So if we empower, imagine how much the country will develop when everyone is pushing everyone towards betterment. And the last one, empathy. We need to be empathetic. Try to step in the shoes of other person and think, if I can do it, he can do it. If he can't do, of course, that means he is having issues. So you need to sit and understand that. Just stop blaming and be empathetic. So if you follow these 3 E's, I'm sure world is going to be a better place, and you will definitely evolve as a great personality and evolve as a person.
Thank you, Excellency, Dr. Ruby. Thank you for joining first, because spending your valuable time on this special day as India is celebrating its 75th independence. This is a special day for all of us, and
True.
You made this more special by joining and giving a glimpses of life, a great wisdom of life from your experience. Thank you so much. I thank on behalf of our Times India TV viewers. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in next program. Thank you. Welcome to Times India TV.